Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing a review of the Ventriloquist, number 1. This is part of the Villains issues, like the Villains Month issues. Sorry, a little tongue-tied there. I picked up today, and it's written by, I believe, who was it? Gail Simone, and let me go ahead and say this. I do have a few notes that I took down to kind of help speed this along and kind of, you know, make it a little bit easier on myself. But either way, yeah, it was written by Gail Simone, and that probably explains why right there why the writing in it is so great. Like seriously, it is pretty freaking awesome. And the only other thing that I know that she writes that is really good is Batgirl and Red Sonja. But I just started reading Batgirl, and it's really good. Um, I'll try not to spoil too much, and I'll give a warning before I give away too much. So pretty much this is a backstory for the ventriloquist and the dummy, and this isn't the same ventriloquist from, say, like the Batman the Animated Series that was back in the 90s. It's not the same one. This is pretty much maybe a new reinterpretation of the ventriloquist for the New 52, I guess I would say. Because if you remember back in the Batman the Animated Series, the little dummy right there, that was Scarface, and he had, of course, the little, like, the hat and the Tommy gun, and he was like a little mobster or gangster or whatever you want to say. But yeah, it was really cool. But this is a really great reimagining of him and the ventriloquist. So pretty much in the comic, it opens up with these people like waiting outside of this theater, and this theater is like the only building in Gotham that has power, that has electricity, and its lights are on. And outside of the theater, like on the wall, this big group, small kind of group of people see that there's going to be a performance inside of it. So they go inside to check it out, and pretty much in the first few pages, we meet the ventriloquist and the dummy. You find out their names, and the name of the ventriloquist herself is Shauna, I believe, and the doll's name is, let me get this right, Ferdie, Ferdie. Kind of weird name, but pretty cool. And within these first few pages, you realize that this woman is she's just crazy. I mean, she has some kind of like mystical powers to make the dummy Ferdie actually talk, make people hang themselves, I believe. It's kind of confusing on actually how she does it, but it's really cool. And of course, you get the backstory on how the woman becomes the ventriloquist, and I guess I'll go into that a little bit. Pretty much, as when she was born, she had like a baby brother as well, and her brother was always given all the praise for being a better comedian than her. He'd always get to go on stage and go to shows before her to perform, and that kind of made her feel left out in the dust. The kids at school, they teased her, and life really was not that great for her. So one day, whenever she and her brother are actually out on the playground, her brother's swinging too high, and I think she's making that happen as well. But anyway, he's swinging too high. She can't stop, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, make it stop. I don't want to be famous." And she's like, "Well, I can't do anything about it. You wanted to be famous." He swings off of it. His face hits the concrete, and he dies. And it's kind of crazy. You don't actually see him hitting the concrete, so that's maybe kind of good. But either way, this group of thugs, they find out that there's actually this what do you call it? This theater is one of the only buildings in Gotham that have power. They find out that they have food and women as well. So they get this plan together. We'll go ransack the place, take the food, the women, everything. And I don't know, it's just a really crazy issue. It's really creepy, especially if you've seen the movie Dead Silence. This is a lot like that, with like the little killer dummies and stuff and dolls. really creepy. It really, there was a couple spots where it really, genuinely, you know, kind of scared me, freaked me out. Um, the coloring and drawing of like the blood and the gore effects in here are pretty awesome. And this clown, well, not clown, excuse me, this dummy or doll, Ferdy, he's very, very obnoxious, really rude, and there's a lot of sexual innuendos that he says. A few of them are kind of funny, but the audience, the little group of people that are actually watching the performance, they're just like, what is going on here? This can't be good. So, anyways, the group of thugs tries to, ransack the place, and I guess this is, probably should have said this a few minutes ago, now is where I'm getting into the, what do you call it? I guess the spoiler zone, and, I actually took that little, the name for that from a really awesome comic reviewer on YouTube. Her name is Mary Makeup Geek, and I think I'll put a link to her channel in the description down there somewhere. But yeah, I'll put a link to her. She's really awesome, really great reviewer. Check her out. Anyway, so now we're entering the spoiler zone. If you haven't read it, exit out. Well, wherever way that's pointing, exit out. So yeah, a few more seconds. Okay, that should be plenty of time. Yeah, whenever this group of thugs, whenever they actually go into the theater to, you know, ransack the place, the dummy and the ventriloquist, they don't like that one bit, of course. So the ventriloquist, he just goes and he messes these people up. He has these little, I'll show a picture of it, but he has these little like needles in his built into his hands over on the left side of the page over there, to where they can just like come out and retract and stuff. It's really cool. He just like shoves them in people's eyes and stuff. It's really awesome. And people try shooting at him, but that does nothing, of course, because he's a dummy. How are you gonna even? But either way, it's just really crazy. He takes out all the thugs pretty much by himself, or with the help from the ventriloquist if she is using some kind of mystical powers, which I'm still not sure of, which it's kind of weird, but it's a good way that Gail Simone does that kind of effect to it. But and at the end of the comic, another major spoiler right here is the fact that the food that was laid out for the guests of the show was poisoned by, of course, the ventriloquist. She poisoned all the food, and she pretty much used them as test subjects to try out the new routine. And it's crazy, but I don't know, it's really awesome. It was a really good issue. So I guess if I had to give it a rating from 1 to a 5, I think I'd give this one either a 4.5 or a 5 out of 5. It's hard for me to choose between those two, but I'd say go pick this one up. It's pretty good, and out of the villains issues that I've read so far, it seems probably to be one of the best, actually. It's pretty good. And yeah, definitely check it out, like I said. And check out the link that I'll be putting in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.